you so much. The floor is yours, Kate. Thank you.
Thank you, Dominica. Good morning, everyone. As Dominica mentioned, my name is Kate Hillenbrand. I'm thrilled to be back sharing with all of you for ACAC today. I am wearing a little bit different hat than my previous presentations as the director of communications and outreach for ACPE. Today, the hat that I'm wearing is to represent, as Dominica mentioned, AlaskaCAN, or the the Alaska Post-Secondary Access and Completion Network. I'm currently serving on the board of directors of AlaskaCAN as their vice president, immediate past president. I'm going to go ahead and do my best to share my screen today. The last time I did this, I had a couple of challenges, so we'll give it a go here. Hopefully everyone will be able to see. Is this working this time? You're not seeing a different screen?
It's working, Kate. Thank you.
Thanks, Dominica. Okay, so today we're going to just spend a little bit of time discussing AlaskaCAN with all of you, and kind of giving you some insight as to what we're all about, what we do, and potentially how you can join AlaskaCAN and our and the efforts that we are making throughout Alaska. So with that, what is AlaskaCAN? So you will see up here, it is a nonprofit member organization advocating to increase the number of Alaskans who complete some kind of post-secondary workforce development pathway or training. We as AlaskaCAN convene a variety of Alaska's stakeholders in education, training, and industry partners. So we bring these groups together to build and strengthen relationships, increasing awareness, and then addressing barriers to help create opportunities for access to educational pathways and ensuring, again, that completion piece towards career goals for Alaska's workforce. So that's the very kind of overarching what is AlaskaCAN. So as it was also mentioned, excuse me, we are a member organization led by a volunteer board of directors. So the screen in front of you here shows the different board of directors seats. So a wide variety, again, trying to incorporate and represent many different sectors in Alaska. So registered apprenticeship, post-secondary, student, state agency, business, secondary education, rural Alaska, etc. So really trying, again, to represent many different aspects of Alaska. One of the pieces with AlaskaCAN, many of you may have heard of the phrase and the statement 65 by 2025. And that had been a goal of AlaskaCAN kind of from its inception. That was sort of what inspired AlaskaCAN's or origin story, I guess you could say. And that was to have 65% of Alaskans earn some kind of workforce credential, post-secondary workforce credential by the year 2025. So that had been sort of this long-standing goal of AlaskaCAN. But in recent years, we as the board of directors underwent a strategic planning process because it was becoming more and more evident that of two things, really. One, that 65% goal was tied to, a report that came out over a decade ago, saying that the Alaska workforce would require 65% of the jobs available in Alaska by 2025 will require some kind of secondary credential. So, we were looking at, is that still relevant? That report certainly did not take into consideration a global pandemic, did not take into consideration many economic factors that had taken place. Is that still relevant? The other piece that our board took into consideration was that, 2025 is knocking on our door. It will be here before we know it. And AlaskaCAN still will be relevant, and there will still be work to do. We won't just end at 2025. So kind of out of those, those two sort of concepts, we decided it was time to pivot and create some new goals for ourselves, some new goals for our organization and for Alaska. And through that, we worked through a year-long process, strategic planning process, with our friends at the Foraker Group, and put together this new strategic plan that you see in front of you with an updated vision for Alaska, our core, or for the organization, a new core purpose and core values, and built out, or wrote this new envisioned future, which we're extremely proud of, where AlaskaCAN has identified this envisioned future where we serve as a recognized strategic partner, supporting equitable statewide culture where all Alaskans have meaningful access to post-secondary workforce pathways. And that as this recognized strategic partner, we as AlaskaCAN serve as a guide, a convener, and a resource in this culture shift based on acknowledging and sharing the value of post-secondary, of workforce-connected learning, wherever and however it is accomplished. So we have, this really beautiful envisioned future for us, with this vision around the fact that Alaska's economy is driven by a trained and educated Alaskan workforce. And that was really the more meaningful vision and goal for our organization. And so out of that new direction that we've taken in the last year, we wanted to figure out, well, all of that sounds great, but how do we get there? What do we do to make those things happen? And so we established some new strategic operating priorities that we have built out our efforts around, again, being a trusted convener for Alaska's education and workforce partners, helping and supporting the development of strategic partnerships, building awareness around this concept of workforce-driven post-secondary pathways, excuse me. And then, of course, growing the organizational sustainability of AlaskaCAN so that we can continue well beyond 2025. So the other piece around AlaskaCAN is that we truly believe, our role as a convener and as a resource to Alaskans, where Alaskans can find relevant data, resource connections to make around post-secondary access and completion. So, we have various ways to connect Alaskans with our resources on our website, which is 65 by 2025, because again, that 65 by 2025, it is still relevant. It is still meaningful, but it's not the only part. It's part of a whole instead of being the whole. So our website still is the same at 65 by 2025, and that's where you can look to find more information and more resources, excuse me, more resources that we offer. The other piece that is really important for all of you to know, and if you're interested in participating or want to share out about AlaskaCAN, as we said at the very beginning, we are a member organization. So the goal and in reaching our vision and reaching this envisioned future for Alaskans, that can only happen with and through our members. So your knowledge matters as a member, your involvement matters, your network and your connections is something that's absolutely critical to growing AlaskaCAN and keeping it a sustainable organization. So we absolutely are always looking to increase our membership, to increase collaboration, to identify new partnerships, because every single one matters when it comes to advocating for Alaskans to pursue post-secondary workforce pathways. Excuse me. So it's a way for you to connect, collaborate, and make that impact. So lastly, how can you do that? And the best way is to get involved, become a member, attend our monthly board meetings. Again, they're the second Monday of the month. They are done virtually by Zoom from 1 to 2:30. We have a variety also of our strategic planning committee, our strategic committees, such as advocacy, governance, external relations, professional development, and research and data. So, those strategic operating priorities that I'd mentioned earlier, how we operationalize those priorities and how we actually do that work is through our committees. The committees are really the backbone of AlaskaCAN, and where the work happens, where that meaningful collaboration happens. So absolutely encourage all of you to not only participate in the monthly board meeting, but definitely look into our committees and see the kind of work that can be done in those committees, and where you may be able to share and bring bring your own professional network or knowledge or areas of expertise. We do also have a couple of different events besides the monthly board meeting and the committee meetings. Typically, AlaskaCAN hosts some convenings throughout the year, as well as an annual conference. This next convening we have is our fall convening, which is virtual. It's a 2-hour convening. Again, this is also free. And the topic for this convening is to talk about and to kind of dig in around collaborative strategies to remove barriers. And those barriers are with regard to post-secondary workforce development pathway access. So how do we collaboratively work together to remove some of these barriers that have previously been identified? So that will be November 7th, again from 3 to 5 over Zoom. If you're interested in participating and joining the convening, you can register for it right off of our homepage at 65 by 2025. And then there's also the AlaskaCAN annual conference. We do not have details or a date set for that yet, but the AlaskaCAN annual conference is a wonderful opportunity for our members, for our partners to actually come together. We had a couple years of the conference via Zoom, but last year we were able to reconvene in person, and it was absolutely wonderful to have everybody back in the same room again. So that is another opportunity and way to get involved. So with that, I thank you for your time today. If you do have questions about AlaskaCAN, and how you could potentially get involved or ask some questions, you can certainly check out the website or send an email to 65by2025@gmail.com. The other piece to know is one of the many hats that Dominica wears. She is also the AlaskaCAN Administrative Liaison. So she is very much the glue that holds AlaskaCAN together. And if you are receiving information or hearing updates about AlaskaCAN via email, Dominica is the woman behind all of that. So we are immensely grateful for the support and effort that she also puts into AlaskaCAN. So with that, I think I will turn it back to you, Dominica, if there's any questions.
Thank you, Kate, so much.
Thank you
for your kind words. So yes, I have shared the links, how to become a member. It's a lifetime membership at no cost. And we try to keep the membership list up to date. But if for some reason you are not seeing communication from us, please make sure to reach out 65by2025@gmail.com. I will look into that, but right now we really want you to register for the fall convening, November 7th, Tuesday, 3 to 5, as Kate mentioned. It's a free event for our members.
Right.
Yes. Well, wonderful. Thank you so much, Kate. Another thing I shared in the chat box is that if you would like to become a member of one of the committees or more than one committee that Kate listed, please also reach out. We are always looking for a more member engagement in our committees. Thank you so much, Kate.
Thank you, Dominica. Thank you, everyone. Have a great rest of your day.
Thank you too. Bye-bye for now.
Bye-bye.